Friday, April 10th, 2026. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes Comedy. In today's episode, we will be discussing harm reduction. Now, anybody who's in recovery from addiction or works in the field is familiar with the harm reduction model. Harm reduction means you really can't give up your addiction totally, so you do it in a way that causes the least harm. Let's say you're a sex addict. Maybe you use condoms and choose your partners a little more carefully. Or if you're an IV drug user, you realize you really can't give up the dope. So either maybe you go on methadone, or if you don't want to give up the smack, you exchange for clean needles. That's what the harm, or if you're an alcoholic, a lot of alcoholics say, "Oh, I'm going to binge drink on the weekend." That's worse, actually. Harm reduction might mean, you limit your. I wouldn't even know how. I go out hard when I drink, but I'm comparing the harm reduction model to my journey in comedy, because comedy is a relationship for me that causes me a lot of jealousy and anger and just resentment. And the way that's an addiction, it's an addiction to negative feelings. I guess I kind of get off on it. It's not healthy. It's an unhealthy, yes, yet I enjoy thinking of funny things, writing funny things, being funny, yet I do not do well in the comedy arena. A lot of that being because of, in comedy, you have to deliver your set in a certain way. So even though comedy is something you write, it is kind of controlled too. Because if you want to advance to the next level, you have to be able to deliver a joke so the audience, will like you and appreciate you, and actually to be embraced by to be in that little circle, because comics travel in little packs and circles, and they all move up like whirlpools. They all join hands like Peter Pan, and they fly up to the stars together, into the comedy clubs, into the shows. And not everybody, they form little tiny circles, right? And in order to be in one of those little circles to be joined, you have to deliver your comedy the way audience they like you. And I can't do that. I got too much shit in my mind. I got too much shit I wanted to say. And that's why I'm never going to be in one of those little whirlpools. So that's why my harm reduction is, I still do comedy, but I do it by myself. I do it in the street, so I don't have to worry if anybody's going to like me or not like me. And I do podcasting, and I hang around comedy open mics and shows, but more as a journalist, all right, to interview or just to be in the audience. I don't really heckle, but once in a while when a comic will say something, I'll give a one-word response, and they want to rip on, and I get a kick out of that too. So I am affiliated with comedy in a loose sort of association, but I'm reducing the harm, and I'm also kind of reducing the harm to other people, so I don't just go nuts and curse them all out and start hating them, because that's not nice either. I don't want to be. So that's my harm reduction model in comedy. I knew there was something else that I wanted to say in this, but this is supposed to be a short, and it's turning into a long and winding road. And John Lennon has been dead for 46 years, and he has the copyright on that. So I have no punchline. Let's just say, click the red button.